What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of MBL Blitz. I'm your host, as always, Spencer Murray. We're taking a turn a little different this time. We're nearing the draft, so I'm going to hit on the top 10, my top 10, my mock draft here. First 10 picks, go over them, explain why I chose who I chose for each team, and I will be releasing a full first-round mock draft the day before the draft this weekend on my Twitter account at MBL Blitz. So without further ado, let's get to it. With the first pick here in the Season 20 draft of the MBL, no surprise, even though it may not be a bad thing this year, it's the Cleveland Browns. Now, as you can see here on my graphic, my pick I have them taken is the best QB overall in this draft, Trey McIntyre out of UCLA. This guy is just amazing. He's got a rocket arm. He's been pro ready, and he is clearly the best QB in this draft, and that's what Cleveland needs. They've had a lot of QB work this season. Between Kessler and Griffin, it's just been bad. I think Griffin was 13 TDs and 28 interceptions this year. He just was holding on to the ball too long. He was sacked over 20 times, and I think that having a guy that's ready to go, great arm, great accuracy, should help get those young receivers running and get that offense flowing. Now, they could also go a different route, wide receiver, corner, who knows, but in my opinion, this is the way to go if you are going to take that Browns franchise and push it forward even more. Now, most of the time I've been putting this mock draft together, I've been trying to ping a few of these owners here and see where they're looking. Well, I got an answer out of Tampa Bay. They are confident that they're going to go with left outside linebacker Kyle Dell. This is also depending on how the Browns pick with the first pick. You know, I've heard a lot of things. Owner Frylock is very spontaneous when it comes to those first overall picks and his first round picks, so we don't know how that's going to end up. But looking here at Kyle Dell out of Nebraska, he is a freak athlete. He was top 3 in most of his combine drills, and this guy is he's ready to play. He covers great. He pass rushes great. This is going to help that linebacker core there in Tampa Bay and help them get that defense running on all cylinders. This guy is a force. He hits hard. I'm pretty sure he caused a few fumbles this past season. There's a couple players out of Nebraska that made a lot of noise, and this guy right here is going to be a star. Now, rumors out of Kansas City are, which I have some pretty good ties to that, they are hoping they're praying that the Browns pass on McIntyre and take another star because the Chiefs really want to look to a future QB. But in this case, McIntyre shouldn't fall past the first pick. So the Chiefs are moving to a 4-3 defense this next season, and they've already got Jay Howard moving into defensive tackle, which leaves Bailey, Poe, and Howard on that line. So drafting this monster here, Mark Bullard, would have that front four look like a force. He was strong at the combine. He hits hard. He is a great tackler, always wraps up and locks it down, and he's ready to play day one, and that's what Kansas City needs. They didn't start getting pressure until the late part of the season, so coming out of the gate with a strong front four, being able to get to the QB will change a lot of outcomes. Again, I mentioned that I've been trying to tap all these owners and figure out who's going where, and then this is another huge what-if situation, because if the Browns take this guy, Julius Way, at number 1, then that means the Titans would have to look elsewhere, as in linebacker or somewhere else. But as of right now, the Titans are going to get Julius Way out of LSU. This guy ran a 4.32 at the combine. He's fast. He covers great. He's still kind of tall. There's only one major issue. He has a hard time disrupting receivers off the line. During the drills, they noticed he really couldn't get a lot of those rookie receivers to change their routes, to think of something else. They were, every now and then, they had their way with him. But this guy is a great corner to start to build around in Tennessee. I mean, their corners aren't that great now. their whole defense is kind of it's right in between aging and young, so there's not really any definite star. But this guy will be a star day one. You're not going to see speed like this for probably a few more years. These guys are once in a lifetime. Number 5, this is where I have the second QB of the draft going off the board. Miami's having a hard time there with Ryan Tannehill. He's very inconsistent. There's young receivers there ready to produce and put up great stats. So I have Miami taking quarterback Nick Doring out of Wisconsin. He is a great passer on the intermediate routes, very accurate. He is slowly catching on to pro-style offenses at his pro day and at the combine. They've noticed he's picking up everything here in the MBL pretty fast. So look for him to come out and start day one, if not compete with Ryan Tannehill for the starting jobs at the preseason. He's really great on the run, quick tight ball coming off rollouts and getting out of the pocket. So I don't see a reason why they would pass on this guy and go with Tannehill for another year. This QB class is great here, and I don't see maybe the top 5 QBs getting out of the first round, if not the second round. So this is your chance to take a franchise QB. You got to do it, and I don't see any reason why not. Let's take a quick break here. I'm going to remind you guys, if you haven't yet, to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Also, if you have a Twitter account, you can follow us at Bomber League and at MBL Network. Plenty of content from August to August. We are constantly running on 100% during Madden season, and you will not be disappointed. Next, we have the Indianapolis Colts. Now, they are finally getting that offensive line set. Andrew Luck is still a very good quarterback. The only issue they're having now is at running back. Frank Gore is 34. He's up there, not a great backfield behind him. So why not take a chance on this guy out of Louisville, Titus Roth? He is the best halfback, hands down, coming out of this class. He's quick with a 4.42 speed. That's a fast 40 time for a running back. He rarely fumbled throughout his entire college career, maybe one or two. He has great hold on the ball. He has great vision. He only needs to see that hole once, and he can pretty much burst through and get past that secondary. So this guy's going to be great. There's a lot of great players in this draft, and I think this is where Indianapolis should go. Defense, yes, there's an issue, but there's going to be plenty of undrafted free agents to pick from, and guys are going to get cut through the preseason that you can plug and play. This offense is what needs to get moving, and I think that this is the smart pick. We hit pick number 7. We hit Draco and the Bears. We all know that Draco has been known for his defensive prowess and the ability to shut down teams. This is the guy to add to that squad. He is powerful. He's quick. Sheds off O linemen like water on a water pump. I mean, this guy is who you need there on the trenches. You've got 2 great defensive tackles already, and this guy's going to help get pressure and stop that run off the edge. His technique is near flawless. You can't go wrong. I'm saying this about all these players because you really can't go wrong with these picks. Most of these owners are looking elsewhere, but these are the smartest picks to make in order to continue to keep your team at least performing at a good enough level to compete and win games in the MBL. This guy is the way to go there at number 7. Chicago needs a strong defensive end to stop runs off the edge, and you could probably plug and play him on each side, and he'd work just fine. So draft this guy, keep that defense strong, and look to the secondary later on in the draft or whoever else you're looking for. This is the guy you want. You cannot pass him up in the first round at pick number 7. The Carolina Panthers. We all know that Josh Norman left the Panthers and signed with the Washington Redskins in the offseason last season. And just the cornerback play in Carolina has been subpar. Here's your answer. Florida State is very, very well known for putting out great defensive backs, and this guy is one of the best. He is no Julius Way, but he's right there up with the same talent level. He's tall. He's 6'2" for a corner. He's small in weight, but he's tall. He's got a huge vert. Great off the snap at disrupting receivers and getting them off their intended routes. This is who they need. I mean, anywhere on the field, he'll cover great for his talent level coming out. This is a great DB in a much-needed weak secondary. So having him out there in the NFC South stopping Julio, and you have the Saints with Brandon Cooks and Michael Thomas. This is who you need. So with him in that secondary, I don't see anyone getting past the Panthers in the NFC South, and here's why. Yes, Atlanta is great, but with those linebackers and that front seven, having a corner out there that can make a play quickly is what's going to change the tune for Carolina. Yes, they're having some offensive troubles, but if that defense can hold out long enough, that offense will slowly start to find a rhythm and put itself in a position to win games in that division. Baltimore Ravens at pick number 9. Really still kind of a young team. Flacco is still a very talented QB, and this guy right here, Lavari Samuel out of Wisconsin, is the way to go. The Ravens are always known for that one speedy receiver on the outside, and Perriman can be that guy, yes, but this guy right here is fast. He runs routes very crisply, quick feet, great hands, and he would be perfect on the outside or out of the slot for Flacco's strong arm. Probably the best wide receiver in this class. Just based on his combine stats and everything that Pro Day scouts have been saying about this guy, he is the guy to pick if you're looking for an offensive weapon. The AFC North is tough. The Bengals and the Steelers run it. Well, the Steelers and Bengals are also weak when it comes to cornerbacks. They're a little. I'm not going to say weak. They're struggling a little bit. There's no clear stars. So this is your chance to get a guy that can blow past those guys easily. Even if it's not to blow past them, just a quick cut on an out route or a quick cut to a post. This guy can get that leverage you need to fit it into those tight windows and make plays against these cornerbacks. You reach the San Francisco 49ers. They are struggling on a lot of points of the ball, but this guy right here is non-passable. He is a huge presence in the trenches, very powerful off the snap. He stops runs very easily up the middle, and he tackles great. You've already got 2 great defensive ends in San Francisco. The linebackers are somewhat great, so why not take a chance, build that front line up, stop the run game, and work on stopping the pass game. This guy is superstar talent, I believe, and he will definitely make an impact day one in a very tough NFC West as it is. So this is the guy to take for San Francisco. Yes, there's going to be corners available. Yes, there's going to be wide receivers available. And yes, there's going to be running backs available. A lot of these owners need to not jump on these skill positions and build beefy. This is what a lot of guys mistake on. I think a few seasons ago, there was so many cornerbacks taken in the first round. It was unheard of. And it's going to get a lot of these teams that are trying to get back on pace and to compete in their divisions. It's going to hurt them if they take positions they already have and just have 4 or 5 great guys at one position instead of 1 or 2 great guys at 5 positions. That's going to be the key to winning in the NBL, in my opinion. .32 pick mock draft releasing Saturday night, the day before the draft. I will have the complete first round done for each team and why I think these players need to be picked at those positions. I really enjoy doing this. Draft time is very fun, and I look forward to seeing these owners putting their research and scouting to work this Sunday night and drafting future stars in the NBL. This is what makes this league fun. Free agency is fun, yes, but drafting is where skill comes in and planning comes in, and we're all going to see how everyone did in their research this year. So I look forward to putting out this mock draft here tomorrow, and I look forward to drafting with you fellas Sunday night. Thank you all for listening. I look forward to the next one. The next one's probably going to recap the draft, look at draft grades, and hit on what's happened in the preseason so far. So look forward to the next episode here in 2 weeks on our new spot Fridays, since the Commissioner's Corner flip-flopped, and now we're going to have a podcast every week instead of 2 on 1 week. So look forward to their next podcast this next weekend, and I am glad you all listened. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to the next one.